Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to FTB Beyond from the CreedCraft server. So we are going to be working on getting more storage for our applied energistics system today, and for that I have added in several more recipes into our crafting. I have added all of the quartz crystals, the seeds, and the crystals into the growth chamber. So that's taken care of. I have also added all of the recipes for the various stages of drives. Now I have made all of these drives with a storage housing rather than making them with the alternative recipe where you craft them directly, because if you have a drive that is empty, you can hold it and shift right click and it will break the drive back apart into its storage component and storage housing, and then you can put that storage housing back in and upgrade it. But we are running out of types more than we are running out of space. Now we do have one drive that filled up with space and not types, but overall we are running out of types and not space. So I think we are going to continue on with the 4K drives. Now in order to make the recipes, I did have to make a couple of the storage components. So I've made one of each, so we are going to create at least one 16K and one 64K to go along with the 4K. But for now, I'm going to just make a whole nother ME drive and fill it with 4K drives. And I think that's probably the best idea, because like I said, all of these non-stackable items will take one type each. So one diamond chest will hold more than one drive, I think, because this is 11 wide. Yeah, this is 11 by 8, 11 by 9. So there's 99 items that will fit into this diamond chest, whereas any one drive will only hold 63 different items. So yeah, this is like 50%, almost 50% larger for types. But, yeah, that kind of sucks. But I have all of the recipes set up here, so if we go to Applied Energistics, and I don't understand why sometimes it doesn't register some of my keystrokes. I don't understand that. But so we're going to make a 4K here. We'll go ahead and start that. We need to make a 16 and a 64. Where did the 64 go? Okay, so that's 3 drives right now, and then what we need to do is make a whole bunch more of the 4K. Where there they are. Okay, so the 4K storage cells we are going to make up. We have 3, so we need 7 more. So I'm just going to set this to going, and then also we need one of these drives. So we're going to set this, and yes, okay, we do have a processor available. We're also going to have to look at upgrading our automated crafting because, well, quite frankly, some of this stuff does operate pretty slowly at times. So, should have one more drive here. There it is, the 4Ks. Okay, so we are going to put the 64 and the 16K into this drive, and I don't know where I want to put this other drive. I suppose I can put it up here. For now, I'll put it there. We'll drop in these 4K. And we should have some more of the 4K drives available by now. 5 more. And these are a non-stackable item too, so got to kind of be careful with that. Now, one thing that I was thinking about is I'd kind of like to have some kind of an automated defragmentation set up for the drives. Now, the way that you would have to do that, you can put an importer, or, well, not an importer, an import bus, or even a storage bus for that matter, onto an ME drive, and it will be able to access the drives inside without actually reading them. So you can pull the drives out and put them back in, and all that we need to do is pull drives out. So we would pull an entire bank out at once, and then run them through the ME IO port. And once they're empty, we would then bring them back and put them back into the drive. So that would be an option. I don't know for sure if I'd be able to make that work, but it's something I might look into. But so we are getting quite a bit of the drives available. We should have the last two. And so this has really increased the number of types that we have available. One thing that I would kind of like to see here is actually how full our drives are. You know, like on refined storage, you could look in the drive setup and it would tell you a percentage of how full your drives were. I would love to see that here. But we do have a whole nother drive setup now, lots more types, and now that we have that, I'm a little concerned that our power system is kind of starting to become inadequate. Now, I did have to swap the tier 6 solar panel over here with the tier 3 because the tier 3 was not keeping up with the machines here. Put the tier 6 in its place. So now this is keeping up, but I would kind of like to look into a different source of power. The solar panels are great, but yeah, they get kind of expensive in the higher tiers, and I would like to look into using some of the resources that we have. So one thing that we have, and I did this in Hermit Pack, was to use deep resonance with the resonating crystals. So I want to get this set up and automated, and there's going to be a lot of things that we need to make for that. So if we look at deep resonance, there's not a lot of items here, but you have to make them and set them up in certain ways, and there's a lot of other materials that are required, and I'm probably going to have to go back and look at my video on that, figure out for sure how this works, but I know that we need like several generator blocks and a generator controller. We need an energy collector. We need these lenses and the infusing laser, the tank, purifier, pedestal, pretty much the smelter. We pretty much need everything that you see here. There are a few things that we don't need, but the majority of it we will. So I'm going to figure out for sure what all we need, and we might want to make the radiation suit. I don't know. But I'm going to look into what all I need to do for that, and I'm also going to defragment these drives again. But then I will come back and we'll take a look at deep resonance. So the first thing that we need to do to get into deep resonance is we need to make ourselves the deep resonance manual. Now this thing is pretty simple to make, as you can see, 3 pieces of redstone, 1 deep resonating ore, and a book. So that's pretty easy, and this has all of the information in it that you could possibly need to actually understand this mod. So we're going to skip the first few. They're pretty well just stock standard stuff. If you want to know about them, you can read them yourself. We're going to go into the generator, and this is what we need. So to generate power, you need the generator multi-block. The basis of this block is the generator, which you craft as follows. A single block supports up to 2 crystals and a maximum of 10,000 RF per tick. If you need to handle more or more powerful crystals? Oh, more crystals, or so 2 crystals or 10,000 RF tick. Gotcha. If you need to handle more or more powerful crystals, you will need to add blocks to your generator. A generator can be any shape. It doesn't have to be rectangular. So we can put multiple generator blocks into the generator. Not a problem. So next we need the energy collector. The generator on its own cannot get the power out of the crystals. For that you need 1 energy collector on top of the generator multi-block. Only 1 collector can be put on a single generator multi-block. You can make this collector as follows. Pretty simple again. And then the generator controller. The generator can only work if it is turned on. You can do this with the generator controller. To turn on the generator, simply give the block a redstone signal. So we pretty much have all the information we need to get started here. So we need to make a generator block first. Oh, wait, nope. We need to make some machine frames first. So I don't know if we have any resonating plates. No, we don't. Okay, so to make resonating plates, we need some of this resonating ore, and we need to cook this. Now, I think there's quite a few different ways of cooking this, and I want to see, okay, in a regular furnace we get 8. The deep resonance smelter will turn it into a liquid. This is the actually additions, no, extra utilities furnace. The alloy smelter gives 8. So just in general, we're going to get 8 regardless. So we're going to drop these into the redstone furnace. That will give us, what, 4 stacks of those plates. That should be good because we'll need a lot of those later on. Now, while those are cooking, you may have noticed I was fighting some withers. I have 64 nether stars. Now, those are going to come into play in this mod, because we will be making here shortly some of this resonating crystal liquid, and that we can turn back into crystals. But by doing that, we can purify it and make really good crystals, but we need things like diamonds, ender stars, or nether stars, ender pearls. There's a whole bunch of stuff to use in that. So I'm going to drop these 64 nether stars off in here. And let's just see, we should have some of these. So to start out with here, we are going to need like 4 of these, I think. So we're going to make the generator block. And for that, we need some gold nuggets. So we'll make some of those. And we need some redstone blocks. So where is the redstone? I think, ooh. Are we running out of redstone? Yes, we are. I need to run some redstone through the system. So I'll have to do that in between clips here. We should have enough to get going here. So we'll make 1 generator block. We will need a generator controller. And for that, we need a comparator. So we'll go ahead and make this real quick. And the generator controller. And then finally, we need the energy collector, which, yep, pretty simple. So that's all of that stuff. And then finally, we need a lever. And the easiest way to do this is with a lever. You can use pretty much any redstone source. But so we're going to bring this over here because this does produce radiation. So we're going to drop the generator, the controller, put the lever on top of there, and the energy collector on top of the generator. And this thing can now be turned on. Now, the sounds and animations of this mod are really cool, and we must have had some lag there because it started twice. But it's got a startup and cool, or wind down, or whatever you want to say, sound. But now, all that we have left to do, we need to grab a resonating crystal. This one has quite a bit of power in it. And then we need something to store the power. Now, let's just see here. Whoops. So we do have energy cells, energy acceptors. None of that'll work. Capacitors, do we have any of those? No. Well, let's check in our redstone and a e-bag. Do we have anything in here that might be useful? No. Well, we need to make ourselves a capacitor then. So let's go ahead and make up a vibrant capacitor. Oh, we are missing a lot of stuff here, so the vibrant... Okay, so do we have any vibrant alloy? Yes, we do. Okay, so that's the first one. Next, we need some octadic capacitors. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that should be everything now. No. Oh, forgot to make this. There we go. Now, emeralds we are starting to run really low on, so I'm probably going to have to figure out something for that, even if it's just villager trading. But so we have our vibrant capacitor bank. We can place this pretty much anywhere on the generator, and it will immediately start accepting power, I believe. No? Now, I know this worked before. Maybe, wait. Duh, we don't have the crystal down. Now, I know the last time that I did this, I actually put the capacitor up against the generator itself, and I'm going to turn the input-output on here, and we should start to see now some input here. So we are currently getting 51 RF a tick from this crystal, and this will make power for quite some time. Now, I don't know if there's any way. We used to be able to speed these up with the Torturino, but I don't think that we have anything that can speed this up in this mod pack. Now, you may have noticed there I got the hunger effect for a brief moment, and if I stay in here, you can see there it is. Now, that's that radiation that I was talking about, and the more pure a crystal is, the less chances of having radiation. But we also have the radiation suit, and that, I believe, will completely eliminate the radiation effect. Now, there are a few other things that we can look at here. We have the radiation suit. We also have some modules that can be put into RF Tools screens. And there's a few other things here, but what I need to do right now, poisoned dirt? So if we have dirt around the generator, I suppose it's gonna be poisoned from the radiation. But I need to drain this crystal, and I think I might put some more crystals down here. These crystals are all pretty strong. There's one that's 4%. I want to find a what? 255%? Wow. I don't know what to say on that one. That is a ridiculous crystal. So now if we drop a second crystal, will it immediately start sucking in from that one? No. So if we turn this back off and turn it back on, will it? Yes, now it will activate from both crystals. And we can see now we are getting, 82 RF a tick. So I suppose what I might do now, because there's going to be a lot of power storage available here, I'm going to make a couple more generator blocks and get a few more of these crystals drained out. So I'm going to take care of that, and I'll be right back. So we have sucked out 9 of the resonating crystals that I had placed down. There's still 3 of them left over there. We have already gotten close to 20 million RF out of those, and that's pretty good. Now for the next step, we need lava. So I got this reinforced drum and put a little bit of lava in it. Right now we have 30 buckets in there. Not a whole heck of a lot, but yeah, there's a little bit in there. So now what we need is a couple more items. So we need a couple of tanks here. And these are pretty simple to make, just iron glass and those resonating plates. And we need at least 2 of those, but I think I'm going to make 3. Then we also need the smelter, which takes another machine frame, which we don't have any of those left. Let's make up a few of those. So we need the smelter. We also need the purifier, which needs these filter materials. These are pretty simple too, gravel, coal, and sand. Or we can use charcoal if we want to. But we will be using tons of these, so I'm going to make quite a few of those up. Then we need the purifier. We don't need the pedestal, but we're going to use it. This has the ability to place down and pick up crystals. And we need, what, a comparator for that? Not a problem. What? Yeah, that's pedestal. Okay. Then we also have a couple other things here, I think. We need a lens, which requires an emerald, plates, and glass panes. And then we're going to need the infusing laser, which requires emeralds and diamonds. So we have, I think, 1 machine frame left. Did we make the crystallizer? No, we did not. So let's go ahead and make the crystallizer, and I think that should be everything that we need now for a while. So first off, we need to get a little bit of power up in the air here. And then we will be placing a tank down on the ground. We put the smelter on top of that, and then another tank on top of this. And that should be fully formed now. It is getting power. And now what we need is some of our ore. So, resonating ore. And I'm assuming we can use the nether version of this as well. I'm hoping so anyway. So what we need to do is put some lava into this tank. And boy, we have way too much junk in our inventory currently. Do we have a chest? Yes. Just set that in there for the moment. And as we need these, we will pull them back out. Because right now, we need some room. So, there we go. Alright, so now we need a bucket. And we will put 8 buckets of lava into this tank. Now, for this to work most effectively, you want between 40 and 60% filled on this tank. Now, I'm going to do this manually right now. You can put a comparator on this tank, and that makes it much easier to tell how much is in there. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I believe we just drop in the resonating ore, and like I have said in the past, this mod has some really cool animations. So this will slowly smelt. Looks like it's smelting fairly quickly actually. And now we have that going into this particular tank. And it looks like we get 200 millibuckets per ore. It's kind of weird that that took that long. We're going to drop in a whole stack of this stuff now. And this looks like it's going to take a little while. We need multiple buckets of the liquid resonating crystal before we can go on to the next step. So I'm going to let that all smelt and then I'll be back. So just to let you know guys, these tanks really suck. I accidentally placed one down next to the lava tank and it immediately filled both tanks. And now I can't get the stuff back out of this one. I've got 600 millibuckets in here, and if I break this one, now I've got 300 millibuckets in this one. So it splits it evenly between the two tanks, and that just sucks. I've also tried pumping with fluid pipes, and they don't connect with these. So there is a valve from this mod, and I don't know how to use it, but I might have to use that to move that stuff. So I have set up over here a little bit of stuff so that we can now purify this liquid, which when I put down that tank I accidentally screwed things up. And so this stuff now is not 100% quality. But we need to filter this, and it will run through this purifier. It's going to be using these filter materials, and you can see I've got a chest here next to it. So it's going to put the spent filter material in here. Now these guys we can make dense obsidian and dense glass with, and I'm not sure what those do. I think they have something to do with absorbing explosions, but I'm not sure. But this does take a huge amount of the filter material to run. And I've got to run this through twice. Then I'm going to be putting that here with the infusing laser, and another star will take us up to 100% on our oh geez, now I can't remember what those are. Strength and efficiency, but it's going to pull our purity down. And I was going to use diamonds to take up the purity, but yeah, ender pearls are renewable, and they take it up by 2%, whereas the diamond only takes it up by 5%. But then we also need to put in these depleted crystals, and those go in here, and it will fill up this little bar here on the side. And yeah, we need this, and we need our catalyst, and that will allow us to purify the liquid even further. So I'm going to let this run through a couple of times. I'm going to purify with the laser, and then I'm going to run it through here again, then purify with the laser again, and hopefully at that point we will be ready to go with creating our own crystal. So I've got the liquid crystal purified as much as I can. Now it would appear that whatever your quality is going to limit the maximum on the purity, strength, and efficiency. But all that we need to do now is put down the tank on the bottom, put the crystallizer on top, and this will immediately start making our crystal. Now this will take a while. In Hermit Pack I was able to use a Torturino to speed this up. Now we don't have anything like that here. So this is going to take a little bit. I'm going to let this do its business, and hopefully we'll have a fairly decent crystal. Now it did take 20 nether stars to up the strength and efficiency, and I did not keep track of how many ender pearls. It took an awful lot of them. But I also had 10 buckets of the resonating crystal liquid in here. So I don't remember how many buckets it takes to make a crystal. I think it takes 6. So I'm going to let this do its thing, and then we will take a look at how much power this crystal produces. So here we go. Resonating crystal, 98.77, 98.77, 98.75. I don't know why my purity is slightly low, but whatever. So we're going to plop this guy down here next to this. We have a little bit of room here in our capacitor bank. I have a couple of solar panels over there, so let's go ahead and fire this up and see what this does now. Stupid rain. So, yeah, we're getting fairly close to what I was anticipating, the almost 20,000 RF a tick. So that is really nice. Oh, that is some major power generation. This one crystal actually outdoes all of my solar panels put together, because I think these guys here, yeah, these don't hardly produce anything in comparison. And we have, what, 3 of these solar panel 6s, and I think 2 solar panel 4s here. So yeah, they don't even come close to producing as much as this single crystal. And we can try to get some stuff set up for automation so that this will automatically take care of itself. And that's the other thing. We have the pedestal. Now the pedestal, what it does, we'll place the pedestal down here, and when we put, we put this in there and it will automatically place it down. Now I'm pretty sure if we put a spent crystal in front of it, it will break it. So let's try that. Yeah, so it will break it. From the looks of things, we will need something to pick it back up afterwards. But the pedestal will place down good crystals, break spent ones, and yeah, we can fully automate this. Now this system, because it does create radiation and other nasty stuff, I was reading in the mod information, it actually produces pollution. So we will want to dig this down into the ground under the base. So yeah, but it will produce an awful lot, and if we can get it fully automated, the only limiting factor is going to be our the deep resonate, or the resonating ore. Now this stuff we can get from a void ore miner, not the resource miner, with a brown lens. And why it's brown, I don't know, but with the brown lens we can get that on a higher probability, so we may have to set up one of those in the next episode. But that's going to be it for today, so I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on, or things that I could be working on in the future, let me know down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!